Already ready to be shipped. Tribe gang. See what the back say. Bossed up. 83. Tribe gang. Already ready to go. But y'all ready description though. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all ready description. Remember we got zip up. You know what I mean? All red flavor joint. You know what I mean? Top and bottom to match. Red and black. New logo on it. You know what I mean? Pants to match. I showed it before on here. You know us, man. We all about, making shit happen. Thank you. Y'all see the description. I've been observing, paying attention, seeing what's going on. And my thing is like how a person can start something off so negative as far as Brorilla intentions on going live, trying to expose Glorilla. But at the same time, weird shit like this be happening because it's like it's fucked up, but you could capitalize off of it. It's like now you should be charging for interviews. You should. I see you doing comedy skits and all that shit. It's like you shouldn't be asking for nothing because you burnt the bridge with your sister, but at the same time you you built a bridge. You know what I mean? You might not ain't have the same bridge you could have had as far as the Brooklyn Bridge, but you built a little bridge for yourself. And if you're smart, you can capitalize on it. Like start making shirts, um, charge for interviews. Like you shouldn't be worried about that 2,500 that you know what I mean that you told TMZ about. Like, and then I heard Tory Lanez looked out, but you know you could really capitalize off this shit. You shouldn't really be begging. You should be able to pave your own way now. Like, everybody kind of know you. You got Joe Budden coming at you. You got, what I mean, Boosie spoke his mind on you. He ain't bash you. Um, Reaper Cole, what's up? What's up? Reaper, what's up? What's up, family? Salute, hit that like button. But it's like you went from trying to shit on Glorilla to where you got people interested on what you got to say to the point you could capitalize off this shit and turn your grind up for real, and you won't really be needing your sister or nobody for nothing. You know what I mean? And that's weird how shit work like that. You could go live trying to expose somebody, and then it makes people so interested on what else you know about the person that they'll call you and pay you some money to interview and you know what I mean? Hey, you kind of funny, man. You know what I mean? I know you was trying to keep it real, but you want to do a sketch. You want to do a skit, woo 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 woo. So me personally, I feel like Brorilla shouldn't be asking for shit because it's like if you smart, you will start doing shirts. You know what I mean? You coming at finesse 2 times. I ain't gonna lie, and you from the south like me, so we quick on the draw with our mouth about shit. Like we come from where, oh, you think you finna roast me type shit. Oh, okay, I'm finna, you know what I mean? Get off on your, you know what I mean? So, me personally, I feel like that 2,500, you should have on top of what Tory Lanez gave you, you shouldn't even be tripping because you kind of built you a little lane, and if you smart, you will kind of make some out of it. Like I say, whether it's shirts, um, with certain things that you said in the motherfucking what it do monster, what it do family. My cousin into this bitch. Know what I mean? Zip up. I was showing that you might have missed out on the, zip up hoodie. You know what I mean? Try. But if you smart, nowadays people take little information they know about their family, like Brorilla, and then when they have a moment, they get in their feelings, and then you want to go on TMZ, call yourself exposed to her, and you could tell the nigga Harvey, whatever the nigga name is on TMZ, he felt stupid because he talking about some, he assumed that yeah she made this, made that, and so how much are you and the family complaining? How much do you guys feel you're owed? And she like 2,500. That nigga look on his face like, man, you mean to tell me I got this motherfucker on his TV and you talking about 2,500? You know what I mean? But at the same time, you go from trying to bash and expose your sister to the point that you kind of made something of yourself to the point now people want to interview you and you can pave your own little way. And at the same time, you need to be thanking your sister because if you backdoored anybody else that was just normal society, nobody wouldn't have gave a fuck and paid that shit no mind. But because your sister is like at the top of the female rap food chain, you want to come out the closet and speak your mind. You know what I mean? And like I say, I don't jump on shit right away. You know what I mean? I'll smoke on the shit, then I like, fall back on it type shit or whatever. But I seen her go live and her dad and her was talking. Her dad was basically saying, I got 10 kids. You know what I mean? Basically they gonna all not agree to disagree type shit. But he know basically he's saying, I know what you do for us type shit. So um she shouldn't feel like she gotta go more live than normal to prove herself because Bro Willa, her sister, is saying that you don't look out. You know what I mean? And the thing is this: when people get money, you know what I mean? Put it this way: when y'all broke, right? When you and a person broke, right? Y'all both got these fantasies of if you hit the lottery and what you gonna do and how much you'll do this, you'll build your mama a house over in Beverly Hills and all this shit, right? But once that money actually touch your hands and you looking at that shit, you know what I mean? You don't have the same feelings you had when you were sitting in the Monte Carlo on fucking Oreo caps and you had to fucking crank that bitch, you know what I mean, 3 times before it start. You know what I mean? So it's like now that you got it, you don't got the same feelings you had when you was talking all this fantasy shit. So people be knowing who to give money to and who not to give money to. And if they do give money to them, it's only a certain amount. Like they're not giving you like no major ass lump sum type shit. You know what I mean? Like they give you enough. But nowadays, people shouldn't really have to give a person shit. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got to create a lane, and then the lane Brorilla, this motherfucker right here. But look though, this motherfucker talking shit, but at the same time, got viewers, all type of shit. You know what I mean? Could really carve a lane for herself. You know what I mean? Him or whatever the fuck he go by. But you know what I mean? It's on the individual to capitalize on the shit. You know what I mean? You bashing your sister is backfiring. You know what I mean? You only getting attention because people want to know shit that they don't know about Glorilla. You know what I mean? And you really ain't got much to say bad about it. You just feel like it's like what she said one time. The nigga Bro Willa said, I'm coming out the club and, you know, I'm coming out to a Malibu. You know what I mean? And I'm reading the comments. Some people like, what's wrong with a Malibu? But you feel because you Glorilla sister, you supposed to come out to a Maybach truck, lean and bent, fucked all up. You know what I mean? And you got a driver and all that shit. You know what I mean? Nah, life don't work like that. Even if y'all was 6, 7 years old and you talked about that shit and y'all planned it and all that shit or whatever, but now y'all 18 and this person get blessed. You know what I mean? Only a chosen few can come. You know what I mean? Some people be knowing who is a liability and who not a liability. You know what I mean? Like they be knowing, like, man, nah, I gotta watch you, or I don't know, man, I can't just leave 80,000 around you. You know what I mean? So people be knowing that shit. You know what I mean? And then some people just don't understand that it's not meant for everybody to take the same path. Like at some point, you start that people start having kids. You know what I mean? One motherfucker might get married. One move away. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own path. It's not meant for everybody to follow the same path. Now, a chosen few may get brought along that path. You know what I mean? But it's on them. You know what I mean? The individual. But I felt like we living in a time now like where you can literally go live and bash somebody and it can backfire to the point where you'll have every podcaster from Tony Danza to Say Cheese to all type of shit want to interview you because they curious on what made you wake up that morning and just want to just go on the Gucci Mane type shit. You just want to just get to talking crazy. You know what I mean? So, um, me personally, like I said, that 2,500 that Brorilla was crying about on TMZ, you done made that back and song. Like I say, I was going through my reels and shit and seeing you in a skit. You know what I mean, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I was going through my reels and seeing you on a skit. You know what I mean? So if you smart, this the first interview. Look, this on TMZ. And then I seen one of the comments, right? One of the comments say, "Look at the couches in the background. You think she paid for them shits? That's Glorilla who paid for that shit. You might not know, but you don't look like you got the money to afford to be having the shit that's in the background. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, we live in a time now where you can bash somebody on a public platform, and then it turns into you kind of like blowing up and shit like that, and you creating a little lane for yourself. You know what I mean? It's damn near like the Woody effect, like how people was bashing him and he reversed that shit and capitalized off of it and tore the YouTube game up. You know what I mean? So, bro, Rilla, you shouldn't be asking your sister for shit now. You know what I mean? You all on TMZ, and if your ass went on there for free, then you need to find you a hood manager or some shit because that was stupid. Like, why would you go on TMZ for free? Like, you could have easily, hey, cash out me something. You ain't gonna do that now. I don't need to talk to you. You know what I mean? But like I said, you doing interviews. Your lives is up now because now you've made yourself interesting. You know what I mean? And it's crazy what people do to make themselves interesting. You burn a bridge, but at the same time, you build a bridge, but it's with toothpicks. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing sturdy. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, man. Me, I wouldn't want to be in her shoes. I don't want to build a bridge that way. You feel me? I don't want to burn my sister. You feel me? And then have to backtrack because once that shit hit the internet, it don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? So whenever you uh do what you do, you know what I mean. At some point, you'll be reminded what you did, and it wasn't even worth it for real. You know what I mean? You could have already did this, but went about it a different way just by approaching the net by just saying, Glorilla sister, I'm Brorilla, and then you posted an old picture like you did with you and her when you were, I guess you was a girl then, and y'all had on them, you had on Patriots jersey, and she had on some other shit, but you could have just came that way, studied the bashing way, and people still would have gave you some play because they would have been like, oh shit, okay, you know what I mean? And then you could have made that back and created you a little lane and started shirts and all type of shit. You know what I mean? This right here is a test alone for your dumb ass if you catch on. Like this, it's on you. You got the ball. So what you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's on you to fumble because you burn a bridge, but at the same time you can capitalize off the shit and start making your own income. So it's really all on you for real. You know what I mean? So like I say, it's on the individual, man. You know what I mean? It's on the individual. And look, when I first seen that shit, right, you could tell that they sisters and shit. You know what I mean? So you ain't have to get on the net and stretch that as far as like, man, that's my sister. Nah, if you just look at both of y'all real good, even though you got a motherfucking boosie fade, that bitch crispy now. but you can still see the structure and tell that y'all related. So you could have just your whole approach could have just been way more different. You know what I mean? But when a person is ignoring somebody, you know what I mean, which is might not be talking on the phone with them, they might be only talking through text or might not even be doing that. Okay, they way of getting to you now, they feel like in their mind is going public. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, I ain't finna burn no bridge and then try to build a bridge with toothpicks. You feel me? So, but hey, what works for you might not work for me, and whoever knows. But I just wanted to tap in with that shit because I felt like it is a lot of people who feel entitled type shit. You know what I mean? And if you a former street guy or street princess or whatever, you've been through this already. You know what I mean? If you done had paper, you know what I mean? But it's weird to me. I feel like trappers are more kind-hearted than people who is on TV because we go through just as much money problems as a person in the industry. You know what I mean? But it seemed like we handle things a little bit more better versus people who are industry. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just felt like we living in a time now where you can go bash somebody like Brorilla and people want to interview you and hear your story and you know what I mean? It's on you to capitalize off it. If you don't, you know what I mean, you'll just be a memory within 6 months on the internet. You know what I mean? They'll just be looking at old clips of your ass, you know what I mean? And doing where are they nows type shit. Your ass sweeping the park a lot and checkers and some shit. So it's on you, you know what I mean? Because I know you done made that 2,500 back end song by now, especially if Tory Lanez looked out and shit. But Tribe Gang TV, y'all already know apparel, you know what I mean? We keep that on deck. You already know. You know what I mean? Go to my YouTube uh, post, check for updates. You know what I mean? Hit the like button, comment. You know what I mean? Like, share, comment. Tribe Gang TV. We out.